We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
U.S. kills terrorist leader, Supreme Court to decide Trump's ballot access, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. A U.S. drone strike Wednesday night killed a high-ranking commander of the Iran-backed Iraqi militia Kataib Hezbollah as his car drove through a busy Baghdad street. Kataib Hezbollah, the group the U.S. blames for an attack that killed 3 Army reservists in Jordan, identified the slain commander as Abu Bakr al-Sadi, head of its Syria operations. The strike killed the commander responsible for directly planning and participating in attacks on U.S. forces in the region, U.S. Central Command said. There are no indications of collateral damage or civilian casualties. This was a clear aggression and violation of Iraqi sovereignty, an Iraqi military spokesperson said. America is the devil, chanted crowds gathered around the wreckage. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejected Hamas's terms for a ceasefire in Gaza after the Palestinian militant group called for the release of thousands of prisoners along with other concessions in its first response to a U.S.-backed proposal to end the fighting. The dismissal was a setback for a U.S. diplomatic push led by Secretary of State Antony Blinken, who met with Israeli leaders on Wednesday during a 5th visit to the region aimed in part at diffusing tensions before a possible Israeli military offensive on Rafah, a city in southern Gaza near Egypt's border where over 1 million displaced Palestinians have sought refuge. Speaking on Wednesday evening, a day after Hamas submitted a detailed reply, Netanyahu didn't specify which demands were unacceptable to Israel, but he vowed to continue Israel's military campaign against Hamas in Gaza. The U.S. Supreme Court will debate today whether former President Donald Trump should be removed from Colorado's primary ballot, the first of what could be several legal challenges against Trump to confront the 9 justices. At issue is whether Trump committed insurrection by inciting a crowd to storm the U.S. Capitol January 6, 2021, and whether that would make him constitutionally ineligible to be re-elected president. That in turn could block him from appearing on a state primary ballot as a candidate for that office. Oral arguments are scheduled for Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and an expedited ruling could come within days or weeks. Spectators began lining up outside the U.S. Supreme Court building on Wednesday with blankets and chairs, hoping to secure one of the few seats reserved for the public. These issues have never been tested at the nation's highest court and are framed as both a constitutional and political fight with enormous stakes for public confidence in the judicial system and the already divisive electoral process. President Biden claimed he spoke with the late German Chancellor Helmut Kohl, who died in 2017, in 2021 while recalling past conversations during fundraising events on Wednesday. The gaffe marks the second of the week. Biden attended 3 campaign reception events in New York Wednesday afternoon, according to his schedule. At his second and third events, he told donors about conversations surrounding January 6, 2021, at his first Group of 7, the G7 meeting, as president, which took place in England in June of that year. The president said that the late German Chancellor Kohl asked him what he would say if he learned 1,000 people stormed the British Parliament in an attempt to deny the next prime minister from taking office. The annual meeting was not attended by Kohl, as he had been dead for 4 years, but by former German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Tony Bobulinski, a former business associate of Hunter Biden, is expected to testify behind closed doors on Capitol Hill next week as part of the House impeachment inquiry against President Biden. A source familiar with the planning said that Bobulinski will appear on Tuesday, February 13th at 10 a.m. for his transcribed interview before both the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees. His interview is expected to last 8 hours. Bobulinski, who worked with Hunter Biden to create the joint venture Sinohawk Holdings with Chinese energy company CEFC, said he met with Joe Biden in 2017. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.